Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will talk about the discriminant of the quadratic equations. So we know that, and we have learned about the quadratic formula where x equals to minus b plus minus square of delta over 2a. And what is delta? Delta is the sign or the symbol for to represent discriminant, where delta equals to b squared minus 4ac. Now there's some rules that we have to understand when we try to apply this quadratic formula in terms of discriminant. So if the first one, the rules, if a or if delta equals to 0, then x equals to minus b out of 2a. X equals to minus b out of 2a. So it is the only solution, or a repeated or double root. And the second one, if delta bigger 0, or when b squared minus 4ac bigger 0 or bigger than 0, then the square root of delta is a positive real number. So what does it mean? So there are two distinct real roots. And what are they? The first one, it can be x equals to minus b plus square root of delta out of 2a, and x, or this is x1 and x2, minus b minus square root delta out of 2a. So that can be the condition. And what next? Next, if delta less than 0, and then the square root of delta, it is not a real number. So it is not a real number. So if it is not a real number, so what does it mean? So there is, or there are no real roots. And then the next condition, if A, B, and also C, if A, B, and also C, they are rational, if they are rational, and delta is a square, and delta is a square, then the equation has two rational roots. But if you want to find out this, you have to do by factorization. That is why at the very first time we learn factorizations by completing square, trial and error, or the other method. You can use also the digital or the graphical solutions. Now let's do the first example, or the first question. The first example: use the discriminant. Use the discriminant to determine the nature of the roots of. So first one, A. When they gave it to you 2x squared minus 2x plus 3, again, it goes to the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, right? But now what we can do here, we have to identify the value of a, b, and c. So what is the value of a, b, and c? Then that's a, that's b, then c. Then we can find out the delta or discriminant. So the formula, b squared minus 4ac, then minus 2, 4 times 2. So look at the coefficient in front of the variable, and then the c is 3. C is 3, and okay, a is 2, and then c is 3. So then 4 minus 24. Then the answer is negative 20. What you can see here, that the delta less than 0. So if the delta less than 0, then it goes to here, the condition. So there are no real roots. So that's the reasons, or that's the solution that we can find from the application of those 4 rules. So when delta bigger 0, delta equals to 0, and delta less than 0, and when a or b and c are rational and the delta is square, then we have to find them, or we can find the 2 rational roots by factorizations. Okay, next question B. Next question B. 3x squared minus 4x minus 2 equals to 0. Let's try to find out the value of a. So a, 3, b, negative 4, c, negative 2. So then, delta, delta equals to b squared minus 4ac, then b, negative 4 minus 4 times 3 times negative 2. So then 16 minus 12 times 2, then plus 24. Then we have, this is 40. Look at the value, the delta bigger than 0. As delta bigger than 0, what is the justification of this? So then, there are 2 distinct irrational roots. Okay, I think that's very clear for that questions. Now let's try to solve the other question again, because today I want to do more questions about discriminant of the quadratic. The next one, C. Consider x squared minus 2x plus m equals to 0. The question is, find the discriminant. Find the discriminant delta, and hence find the values of m for which the equation has a. Now we have to find a repeated root. A repeated root, and then b two distinct real roots. So what we can see here, that we have to find out the value of a, whether it is bigger than 0. If it is a repeated root, it means that the a that equals to 0. When it is two distinct real root, means that a bigger 0, and c for no real root. So then this is a smaller than 0. So that is the things that we have to understand. Now let's do the first one, how we can solve this. So when it is the questions, so the first step to solve that, you have to find out first, they gave it to you that x squared minus 2x plus m equals to 0. If this is the equation, as it reverses again, it reverses again to ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Then you can identify the value of a equals to 1, b equals to -2, c equals to m. So c equals to m. Then how do we can find for the delta? Okay, let me try to erase this first, and I will erase this, make it faster, choose the right method. Then, so if we want to find the delta or discriminant, then step 2, the delta equals to b squared minus 4ac. Then you put it b squared minus 2 squared 4 times 1 times m. So then 4, because minus 2 squared is 4, and then times 4m. So that is exactly the delta. And how do we can find for the repeated root? So for a then step 3, when a equals to 0, right? When a equals to 0, so a b squared minus 4ac, a is 0. So substitute the value, 4m, or 4 minus 4m, then 4m equals to 4. So m, 4 out of 4, m equals to 1. So m is 1. So that is the first answer. Okay, I think that's very clear for this part. Is there any questions? And then next is, if you have a questions, you can mention on the comment if it is not clear. So I will try to give a feedback within the comment. And then B, when it is 4 distinct real roots, it means that A bigger 0. A bigger 0, so then use the inequality sign, right? Or then you can put it as A bigger 0, or sorry, delta bigger 0. So then delta bigger 0. So then b squared minus 4ac bigger 0. Then 4 minus 4m bigger 0. So then 4 bigger 4m, right? 4 bigger 4m. And then if you look at that, you're moving to that side bigger, because that bigger 0. And now we can see that it changed, right? Because we have to change the sign. Or I can make it into, to make it easier to understand why it changed the sign suddenly. So you can see that minus 4m, then this is bigger minus 4. Now it changed the sign because both negative, look at that. So m equals to 1. Why is it m equals to 1? Because negative 4 out of negative 4. So the sign is moving to the other side. So we have to change the sign value of which is from bigger than turns into smaller. Okay, the next one. When it comes to for no real root, if it is no real root, it means that it is less than 0. So when less than 0, delta less than 0, so then b squared minus 4ac less than 0, 4 minus 4m less than 0, so then minus 4m less than 0, minus 4, right? Moving to that side. So then minus 4m, negative 4. Now you can see again, for this it changes the sign. M, it turns into negative 4 out of negative 4, m bigger 1. Okay? That is the way when we try to solve the discriminant, by applying those 3 conditions. When delta bigger 0, when delta equals to 0, then when delta or the value of discriminant less than 0. Okay, the next one. I have one more question here that is a bit difficult because we have to apply also the sign diagram, but we have to solve it. Okay, next question, the last one. The last one is question 2. So consider the equation kx squared plus k plus 3 x equals to 1. What is the question? Again, the question is find the discriminant, or delta, and draw its sign chart or diagram, and then hence find the value of k for which the equation has the first one, two distinct real roots, b, two real roots, c, a repeated root, d, no real roots. Okay, let's do the first one. We have the equation, so the solution. Let me try to change the color first. So solution. As we have the equation kx squared plus k plus 3x equals to 1. K plus 3x equals to 1. Now we have to convert this into ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Then we have to move the 1 into the left side. So k plus 3x minus 1 equals to 0. So we got that a is k, b equals to k plus 3, c equals to negative 1. So we have that. Now we can apply into discriminant. So delta b squared minus 4ac. So then k plus 3 minus 4 times k times negative 1. So you expand it. K plus 3 you expand it. K squared plus 6k plus 9, right? Minus 4k times negative 1, so it turns into positive. Now let's try to rearrange. K squared plus 10k plus 9. So then we factorize it. So we factorize. So delta equals to k. Find the multiplications of a number when you multiply them together. That equals to 9. And then when you add them together equals to 10. So we definitely got k plus 9 and k plus 1. I think that is exactly the answer. So then this is turns into k plus 9 equals to 0. K is negative 9. And then k plus 1 equals to 0. Then k negative 1. Okay, now we got this. So then we have to apply into the sign diagram. Okay, let me try to put it into the sign diagram by looking at into the result. So we have, so the delta has sign diagram or sign chart. You can apply if this is -9, assuming that -9 and then -1. Let's try to substitute into the equations. When you use, let's say, bigger than 0, what happened to, where should we put the positive or negative, right? Now let's choose two number here as we get this and also this. So that's exactly the three region that we have to put positive or negative. Now find a number bigger than 9 and smaller than 1. So let's say that we choose -5. I'm going to choose also this is -10, and then I'm going to choose this is 0. We want to prove that and then put a sign. So apply when x equals to -9, then substitute into these equations. Sorry, not that equations, these equations, right? So x is k, or we use in terms of k when k is bigger than 9. So then k is k square plus 10k plus 9. So then -10 square plus 10 times -10 plus 9. So then this is 100 minus 100 plus 9 equals to 0, equals to 0, equals to 0. So then this is definitely cancel 9, right? So we have that this is equals to 0, which is positive value that produce. So then if that's positive, then you have to put this as positive sign. And then the next one, when k, we choose -5. So k square plus 10k plus 9 equals to 0. So then -5 square plus 10 times -5 plus 9 equals to 0. 25 minus 50 plus 5 equals to 10. Sorry, equals to 0. Then this is remaining -16. So that's negative. So then put negative. Okay, we put negative. And then the next one, let me try to erase this again. The next one is when k equals to 0. So k square plus 10k plus 9 equals to 0. 0 square plus 10 times 0 plus 9 equals to 0. So 0 times 0, then this is 9 equals to 0. So that is positive. So that's the way we can find the sign diagram. Now to answer for the other one. So for a two distinct real roots when a bigger 0. So then k smaller -9, right? Or k bigger -9 and -1, where k it is not equals to 0. And then b, two real roots. So then when it is delta bigger equals to 0, so we have the range which is k smaller equals to -9 or k bigger equals to -1 and k not equals to 0. And c, so c for a repeated root delta equals to 0, then k equals to -9 or k equals to -1. I think that's very clear. And then d, no real roots, delta smaller 0, then -9 or k bigger -9 smaller -1. I think that's exactly how we can find out and solve the equations. Okay, to end this topic, I have the summary of this topic for today. So the summary for this topic of today, so when it comes to the topic what we learned today about discriminant and then the quadratic, when it comes to factorization of quadratic and then roots of quadratic and discriminant value, so you should understand three conditions. So what are those three conditions? So those three conditions, the first one, two distinct linear factors. And then how about the roots of the quadratic? The roots of the quadratic, two real distinct roots. So then the discriminant value, this is bigger 0. And then the next one, two ideal or two identical linear factors. Two identical real roots, or this is repeated, then delta equals to 0. The last one, because we have 3, right? Unable to factorize, it means that you cannot factorize it. If you're unable to factorize it, it means that no real roots, because the delta or discriminant value less than 0. So we have these three conditions in order to find out the discriminant value of the quadratic equation. Okay, guys, I hope that today about the mathematics for additional math in IGCSE program, it is very clear, and I would like to uh, ask you all to subscribe and also share this YouTube channel to your friends and might be to your relatives in order to make this YouTube channel grow. And I hope that it helps you a lot. And don't forget to give comments, share, and like also. Thank you very much.